congratulations first. Can you go through this match a little bit, because there were a lot of ups and downs, and you come through at the end, but it looked like a huge struggle for you at the end.
Yeah, I did not play on the level that I intended before the match. There were parts of the match where I stepped in and played a game that I needed to play, but parts of the match where I played too defensive and allowed him to dictate the play from the baseline. And he has great depth in his shots. And once he has a control of the rally, it's very difficult to play against him. So it's very emotional, very tense, as it always is against a top player and semifinals of Grand Slam. Of course, judging by the last two matches we played here in Australian Open last 2 years, we could expect something like that, 5-setter. So the battle was great, and it was no different this year from the previous 2 years in terms of fighting from both sides. And the only difference was that the fifth set went completely my way. But again, it was a tight first opening game of the fifth set where he had some breakpoint opportunities, missed an easy ball. So yeah, I mean, a couple of points decide a winner in this particular matches when you're playing for Grand Slam final. And I can say I'm glad. Of course, I'm happy and satisfied to go through, and I'm proud of the fighting spirit that I had. But the level of performance was not where I wanted it to be.
Novak, when Jim Courier spoke to you after the match, he said, "Did you have any physical issues?" And you said yes, but then you sort of talked tactics rather than going into how you were feeling.
No, it was. I mean, yes. In terms of, I think it was more. It's mental in a way, because once you back up and start playing defensively, you spend a lot of energy, and he was the one that was dictating the rallies. There was no question about it. So that's where I some points of the match I did struggle physically, to recover for the next one, because I run a lot and he was getting a lot of balls back in play. I didn't have many free points on the first serve as I did throughout the tournament, so that was a significant change. But nothing that will worry me. I'm sure that I'll be fit and ready for finals.
Is it hard to keep your concentration and positivity when the level of play is much below where you want it to be?
Of course, it's you have days when things aren't going your way. I thought the first set was pretty solid. Second set not so much. The third again, I had my moments and made a break in the fourth, and I felt like I have him on the ropes, and I felt that this is the moment where I need to step in and capitalize on the opportunities and consolidate the break. But I haven't. I made a break and 2-love in the fourth, and lost my serve again right away. Had love 40 in the next game. Haven't used those opportunities, and he was back in the match. And this is what happens if you're not using the opportunities 1, 2, 3, 4. The player like Stan, with the immense quality that he has and power in his game, will get the best out of you, and that's why the match was that match went to the fifth set. And after that, I thought the crucial turning point in the fifth set was for opening few games, 2-3 games. That's when I felt a little bit more relaxed and not as pressured from his side.
Did you feel different coming into this with how classic and epic the last two matches here were? I mean, knowing that you had to live up to that sort of standard of play and entertainment this time around, didn't that put a different sort of pressure on this match?
I'm sure everybody who came to watch the match live and who watched it on TV were expecting a 5-set match. That's what we delivered for them. There was no, of course, it was not intentional from our side to play 5 sets, I'm sure. But again, very few details, very few points, very few shots can decide a winner of these matches. And that's what happened tonight.
Novak, you said the crucial moments were the first games of the fifth set.
Yeah.
But when he had the break point on the first game of the fifth set, what was going through your mind? Were you really worried, or?
Well, I was playing on the side that is against the wind, so it was harder to play on that side, and it was a long game, and he missed one backhand that was not difficult for him to make, but he missed it on the break point, and I was just hoping and trying to stay in the moment and focus on the next point and trying to win that game. I knew that it's if I do hold my serve, that it's going to give me a lot of confidence for the rest of the set, and that's what happened.
Where do you feel you are, Novak, after this tournament, going into the final against Andy?
I think I have much more positive things to reflect on in my game, and then all the matches that I played so far in the tournament, they're negative. I'm in the finals. At the end of the day, that's why I'm here. To try to get as far as the tournament, and getting to the finals in any way possible is a great achievement. So I'm gonna try to use that for build up of the confidence for finals.
The contrasting records, Novak. The contrasting records at finals here between you and Andy. You can't lose one, 4-0. He's a 3-time runner-up. I mean, is that mentally for you coming to it? You're out in the court in a final in that scenario.
Well, he's been playing some great tennis this couple of weeks, and it's from my side, it's going to be necessary to perform at my best and play the best match of the tournament if I want to win. I know that, and obviously it's finals, so there's no clear favorite. But as you mentioned, the record that I have in the finals against him here in Australia, we played a couple of times, can serve maybe as a slight mental edge, but not much. I don't think he's going to feel that on the court. I'm sure he's going to be very, very motivated to win his first title here. But I'm gonna, of course, give my best that doesn't happen.
Andy was Novak clearly struggling at the O2 Arena.
Yes.
Towards the end of last season. We're not too far on from there now. Have you noticed or been impressed by how he's sort of turned that around?
Well, it's not the first time in his career that he's turning things around this way. He had in the last 5 years periods where, maybe he goes through for half of the season where he just doesn't feel well, he doesn't make any significant results for his standards, and then he wins, he gets to the finals of the Grand Slam, or he wins a Grand Slam, and, so of course people do expect a lot from him because he's a top player and he's a Grand Slam winner, Olympic gold medalist, and we all know that he has the quality in his game. So it's not a huge surprise, honestly, to see him in the finals, but you're right. Looking at where he was in 2002 and with his game in the end of 2014 season, maybe people were not giving him such a great chances to get to the finals, but to me it's not a huge surprise because I know what his qualities are, and what he can play and what he can deliver.
Novak, you guys go back 15 years, I think. Are you happy to see Andy back in the big time, back in the Grand Slam final?
Yeah,
his
sure.
First one since Wimbledon.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he deserves to be there with the game that he has, and with the he's got a winning mindset. Of course, he's a great fighter, great competitor, and somebody that commits to this sport, and you can see that on a daily basis. He has a great team of people around him. He puts a lot of hours in the practice, gym, and so forth, and it pays off, of course. And I know him for a long time, so it's great that we are able to challenge each other now in another Grand Slam final.
After tonight,
sorry, Carol, and then
Sorry.
you have a special rivalry with Rafa, another one with Roger. What is special with the one with Andy? Is it the same generation? Is it?
Yes. Well, the fact that we know each other since we were 11 or 12, that there is only a week difference between us. Very similar game, and very similar road to the professional tennis. So I think that's what makes it very special.
Do you still have problems with his accent, Novak?
Excuse me?
Do you still have problems with his accent?
No, his accent is fine. He's actually, he spends a lot of time in London. I know he lives there, so he's trying to talk very clear and slow to everybody. I thank him. No, he's good. He's good. He's a couple of guys around. We have a very good relationship, my team and his team, so we always joke around. And there was a physiotherapist from Scotland that was with him, I think, a couple of years ago, and it was very hard to understand what he was saying. But his accent is absolutely fine. He speaks very clear.
Novak, after tonight, Wawrinka drops down to number 9 in the rankings, and for the first time since 2013, July, the Fab Four are back. The Fab Four are the top 4. Are you surprised about that? Would you believe that could happen? What that means? Nothing or something?
Well, of course, there was naturally a lot of talks about the change of generation, new players coming in, with Wawrinka and Cilic winning Grand Slams last year. That the 4 guys that you're referring to will not be the top 4 anymore. But it's the case, as you mentioned now again. So I still think that this, the 4 guys still have the best chances to win all the Grand Slam titles, even though we had the 2 different Grand Slam winners last year. But those are the top 4 favorites, and then you have the other guys. But of course, men's tennis is in a different place than it was a few years ago. Now you have, as we mentioned, Cilic, Wawrinka, and then youngsters like Nishikori, Raonic, or Dimitrov that are, showing their qualities and are able to challenge the best players in the world.
Novak, Stan said that going into this match, he already knew that he was mentally dead. Did you have any indication from your side going in that maybe you weren't going to be able to bring your best level? And if yes, is there anything you want to do to make sure it doesn't happen?
He didn't seem too mentally dead to me on the court. He was playing some great tennis, especially in the second and fourth set. But I guess he knows what he's talking. But of course, it's not easy for him to face this kind of circumstances of being defending champion. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of points to defend, and as gentleman mentioned, he's gonna drop to number 9 of the world. So it's a significant drop for rankings, and many things change in terms of that drop. So that's a valuable experience for him. But again, it was semifinals of the Grand Slam, and once you're on the court, you really forget about being exhausted or sick or something like this. You just want to give your best, and that's what I think he did.
Novak, you've won 7 of the last 8 against Andy. Does that mean you've figured out the perfect way to play him?
Well, there's not much let's say predictable scenarios in our matchup. I think we know each other pretty well. We practice a lot. We play many matches against each other on different surfaces, especially in this arena a few times in the finals. So I'm sure we both know what to expect from each other's game. And the fact that I won last 7 out of 8 matches, of course, it's gonna serve as a great confidence booster coming into the match. But as I mentioned before, there's no clear favorite. I think the way he's been playing, and he already knows what it takes to win a Grand Slam title. And on the other hand, I'm going to try to use also my own experience and, of course, motivation to eventually get my hands on the title as well.
Novak, I don't know how much you've watched of Andy here this year, but if you have watched some of him, what do you think's changed in his game since last season?
Well, I think he's going for the shot. He's one of the best defenders in the game, no question about it. He has he's a credible counter-puncher. He's got a lot of variety in his game. Excuse me. He's got also a big serve. If he serves well, I think that's a huge, let's say, confidence boost and advantage for him. He feels that he's more relaxed on the court. He can swing through his his shots from the baseline. I think forehand has improved, judging by the matches that he has played during this couple of weeks, comparing to a few months ago. I think he's using that shot really well. The courts are played a little bit faster in these last 2 years than it was previous years here in Rod Laver Arena, as we mentioned before. So I think because they are faster and because the ball is bouncing a bit lower, that's pretty suitable to his style of the game, because he likes that. He has a flat backhand and he moves around the court pretty well. So it's going to be a very physical match, no doubt about that. And it's finals, so I'm sure that we both are going to go out and give our best.
Last question, please. Last one.
Novak, does Stan have the best drop shots in the tour?
No.
Last one over here.
Novak, you won your first Grand Slam title here. Now you're nearly in your fifth. Tell us what this would mean to you if it is something.
It would mean everything, of course. Getting to the finals is already a great achievement, as I mentioned before. But now this is the match where for which you have worked for now 2 months, and this is where you want to be. This is why you put all these hours on and off the court and trying to get yourself in a position to win Grand Slam trophy, because that's what matters the most. And I'm gonna give my best, of course. Thank you.